Hello YouTube, this is an alcohol review of Tullamore Cider Cask Finish. Irish whiskey, triple distilled. Let's see here. According to the description here, a soft mellow blend of all three types of Irish whiskeys, pot still, malt, and grain with a delicate balance of oak and sweet apple notes. Product of Ireland, 40% alcohol by volume, 750ml bottle. According to the back label, crafted in a long tradition of Irish whiskey making, with this special cask finish whiskey, we draw upon another great traditional Irish craft, cider making. Who knew? Old whiskey barrels, which have previously held fresh pressed Irish cider at the early stages of fermentation, impart a sweet, fruity vibrance to this whiskey. Now, sadly, I have not listened to Whiskey Cask, which is, you can find on YouTube as well as Apple Podcasts, or I should say iTunes. Find it on iTunes for quite some time, but I have heard through other whiskey grapevines that due to the failing economy, which I know that's an argument right there of whether we're having a failing economy or not in the empire at this particular point in time, of the taping of this particular video at this particular point in time. Anyway, that due to failing sales in the whiskey world, the barrels are getting harder and harder to come by. So they will take the whiskey, because, in the laws in this nation, to have a bourbon, it must be aged in brand new white oak charred barrels. Then what do you do with the barrels afterwards? They end up taking those barrels and they sell them to other distilleries for them to age in. And this oftentimes will impart wonderful flavors of that bourbon mash, the mash bill, if you will, the mash and the charring of the white oak. And this helps, of course, enhance whatever your whiskey is. And that's one of several differences between a whiskey and a bourbon. Well, in this case, due to the lack of supply of the used charred oak barrels from the bourbon industry, the whiskey industry is going to other sources to acquire their barrels. And in this case, this uses cider barrels. And being a fan of apples, I figure, what the heck? Give it a try, see what we taste. A little full there. But, as I get near the glass. Anyway, we have nearing a honey-like brown, or a honey-like gold, depends on how you want to view it. There it is, almost no tearing. What there is very... I can see the edge. I don't see... Well, there's some. Yeah, some tearing. By the way the fluid is acting, I'd have to say that this is awfully watery, thus the lack of tearing. First thing you smell is cider, with a hint of ethanol. Floral. A bit of flowers coming out of it, and a bit of vanilla coming out of it. I'm willing to bet that is from the oak that the whiskey, the Irish whiskey was put in. And how can I say that without sounding too much like a snob? Well, oftentimes home brewers, much like myself, will use either the American oak or the French oak. And one imparts not only that oaky flavor that you want, a smoky oaky flavor, it also imparts other flavors, including vanilla and some like spices. I just can't remember whether it's the French that imparts vanilla or whether it's the American that imparts vanilla. It's leaving me at this point in time. Yep, but it smells like cider with a bit of Irish whiskey. See, and this is where it flips on the palate. Because, like I said, you first smell cider, then a bit of Irish whiskey on the palate. What I get is Irish whiskey with a hint of cider. Which it's all right. Though the problem I have is that I don't want to sound cruel, but I've had better Irish whiskey. So this is a great idea. The cider cask finish, it does very well on it. I mean, it has a wonderful nose, but I'm apparently not a Tullamore fan on the actual whiskey that they make. No offense to anybody who likes it. If it's your thing, it's your thing. Be proud. But I was hoping for more cider flavor and less of their style of whiskey flavor coming out. Like I said, I don't want to pee on anybody's parade if they like this particular whiskey. It's fine. Just that I myself believe I've had better. And like I said, I expected more apple. But you guys try it. See what you think. Especially if you are a Tullamore Dew fan. See what you think of this adding of a hint of cider. I really like the fact that the nose, it's got a nice nose to it. Just not so kind to my particular palate. But go out, as always, go out, try it for yourself. This is Tullamore Dew cider cask finish, and do a review and let the rest of us in the YouTube spirits community know your thoughts about this particular product. All comments down below will be warmly accepted as always. I'll be curious what a fan of this particular whiskey has to say about this cider cask finish version of this particular type of Irish whiskey. Be interesting. But as always, don't believe me, I'm just some fool out there. Try it yourself. I'm just not a fan of the whiskey part of this idea. The cider idea. It is wonderful. But try it yourself. See what you think. Comments down below will always be warmly accepted. Or better yet, as I repeat myself, try it, buy it, review it. Let us know what you think. And until next time, keep on drinking.